JPMorgan Chase, it turns out their losses are a little larger than we expect. Go. Of course! Now, we've done this story many times. They originally said $2 billion, and I said, ain't no way it's going to be $2 billion. It's going to be at least $4 billion and probably much larger. And then we said $7 billion, because that's what the reporting was. And then the latest round of reporting was perhaps $9 billion. The reason we're doing it now is because JPMorgan Chase is admitting, well, it looks like it's going to be at least $5.8 billion. So at least 3 times as much as we originally told you. And we're still counting, although Jamie Dimon, their CEO, says, I now think we kind of have it under control. Go. And look, I partly brag about this stuff. Okay, I don't know if you could tell I do from time to time. It's because I want you to know that, like, we're doing the right analysis on this. It's not that we don't like the bankers. It's not that we don't, it's that there's a certain logic to this. If you take these kind of risks, you will have tremendous losses. And we know how the political system works and the whole media system. If a CEO comes out and says, I've had a devastating loss, my bad, $2 billion. $2 billion is not a devastating loss for JP Morgan. He's obviously hiding a much larger loss, right? And we know the risk that he took and how much he gambled with. It was inconceivable that the loss was only $2 billion. So now they're at $5.8 billion, and it'll probably be much larger than that.
Well, and I think that's part of the problem that we have right now is that really the only way to get profits like the banking industry does is to take enormous risks. Like we have a banking industry that is too large. It takes up too big a share of the economy, and basically at this point it doesn't do any of the sort of allocation of capital to useful purposes that it should. It's all just gambling. So this is totally to be expected, and we'll see more of it until we actually have some rules with teeth.
Yeah, and it's obvious that the historic reform we did of the financial industry was, if at anything, historically weak, because it didn't prevent this. And every time something like this happens, they go, "Oh well, that one we couldn't prevent, but the next one, trust us. Well, we're all over the next one. Well, the next one was LIBOR. Well, that we couldn't quite prevent, but trust us, we'll get them next time."
Well, and again, talk about taking the wrong sort of rhetorical approach on this, because Obama signs Dodd-Frank, says, all right, now we don't ever have to worry about a banking meltdown again. So again, when we have another banking meltdown, everyone's going to go, oh, well, see, regulation's obviously not the answer.
Yeah. Even though the event happened before the weak regulations were put in place.
Right, but they'll say, well, see, it didn't do anything. Yeah. So that's clearly not the route we want to go.
In fact, it's happening right now. Republicans are making the argument, you see that? We overregulated.
Yeah.
But wait a minute, there was no regulation, and they're admitting that they didn't regulate. You see what I'm saying? The regulation didn't work.
Yeah.
You're like, no, it's the opposite.